Hi folks, Pat here. And once again I'm going to talk about Chauncey DeVega, Black Liberation Theology, and I'm going to rant about Jim Crow laws. Now, I have nothing against Chauncey DeVega, just so you know. I mean, I'm sure he's a nice man, and he's a very intelligent man and far more wordsmith than I will ever be. He has an extremely extensive vocabulary, and he writes a very compelling article. Compelling to anyone who doesn't know better. Okay, and by know better, I mean who doesn't know the other half of the story that Mr. DeVega conveniently leaves out of his facts. Okay, I'm going to talk about that in depth here. Anyway, but Mr. DeVega is an example. Okay, he's an example of what I expect to see for the rest of the year. And gosh, this is only March, but I expect to see for the rest of the year from liberals and those to the left and members of who were practice Black Liberation Theology used in the campaign. And the campaign's already been, how many terms we hear every day, like dog whistle, which is used in this article 3 or 4 times, and air raid sirens, and gosh, code words and all this stuff that I am really already tired of hearing. Like I said, I don't know any code words, so if I use one inadvertently, like if I say computer mouse and it means something else, I'm sorry, I just thought it meant computer mouse, and I don't know any better. And now I'm not going to say computer mouse either. It's insane. Anyway, here's where I take issue with Mr. DeVega, getting back to and Black Liberation Theologists. Okay? Here is a comment from the article about Rick Santorum. It says, moreover, one should never forget that the KKK was a Christian organization. Okay, that's true enough. That's fair enough on face value. KKK was a Christian organization. I'll take that. That's true. Now, the thing that why he uses that statement is he's trying to lump white Christianity under the KKK. So if you're white Christian, you're a racist and you're a member of or a wannabe member of the KKK. Now, I'm saying this because, again, going back to some leaps he makes here, Grand Canyon-like leaps. Let's listen to what he says about Rick Santorum. It says, Rick Santorum's racist Christian nationalist appeals have a ready-made audience. The same audience is one that would have found a way to justify Jim and Jane Crow and the lynching tree as evidence of Christ's good love, divine will, and providence for white people. Okay, Mr. Vega, here's where I have a problem with you. Yes, KKK, darn it, they were white Christians. Now, just out of curiosity, again, the rest of the story, who were the victims of the first KKK? Who did they lynch? Was it black people? Was it just black people? Well, if you look at Wikipedia, which I know isn't the end-all, be-all of sources, but there's hundreds of sources that'll verify this, the victims of the KKK were white and black Republicans. Now, why on earth would they want to kill Republicans? They didn't know they were racist way back then, did they? No, because Republicans were the ones who were actually trying, in the South, trying to help slaves with the right to vote, trying to help them in the reconstruction of the South. Okay? And, the KKK, the white Christians you mentioned, didn't like that. And so they decided to kill Christians. Okay, kill Republicans who may or may not have been Christians. Okay, but you can't lump those same Republicans that the KKK was killing, the white Republicans, with the white Christians that were part of the KKK. They're not the same people. They couldn't be the same people. And to do that is disingenuous. I mean, that's like saying the only good Indian is a dead Indian. How stupid is that sentence? Anyway, give me a headache. But let's go on. Let's talk about Jim Crow laws now. Yeah, Jim and Jane Crow. Who was it that enacted Jim Crow laws? We all know about Jim Crow laws. The laws that were separate but equal kind of things, or trying to be, or whatever, that tried to desegregate the races and keep blacks separate. Jim Crow laws. Who was responsible for those? Again, Wikipedia. Let's see. It says, the people who enacted Jim Crow laws were these conservative white Democrat Redeemer organizations, legislated Jim Crow laws, segregating black people from the white population. These conservative white Democratic Redeemer, now Redeemer, just so you know, Redeemer government, it means the Redeemers were out to get the Republicans out of the South. Okay, so it wasn't like the Redeemer was a code for white people. It was a code for people who, again, hated Republicans. Okay, so it was the Republicans who were the enemy of the KKK and who were enemy of those who enacted Jim Crow laws. So Jim Crow laws, come on. Again, the people who enacted Jim Crow laws can't be the same people as they were against. That doesn't make any sense. So, okay, you know, so yes, were there bad white people? Yeah, there still are. There's plenty of them. You don't have to look far. I think in my lifetime, you know, and in my lifetime, I've marched for civil rights. Okay, I'm a huge believer in civil rights. I hate prejudice, but I hate it from either side, whether you're black or whether you're white. To categorize a group of people as evil, it's just silly. It's stupid. And it harkens back to, I guess, pre-Civil War, harkens back to cavemen, you know, and that we had no logic then. It's not a logical argument because it can be disproved so easily. So, again, right, this is where black liberation theology has an issue. And this is what we're going to see in the elections this year, is that they try to use this evil white Christian thing as anyone who votes against Barack Obama is a racist. Inherently. It's like Rick Santorum is I don't know Rick Santorum, I'm not just talking about why he was written about, but it's like drawing a conclusion that when Rick Santorum says Christian, well, he doesn't mean Christian. He means the white nationalist Christian. How do you know that? How do you know that? You know, the same as saying when he said that Barack Obama practices a false theology, and you say, oh no, don't make a mistake. He wasn't just talking about Barack Obama. He was about all black people. How do you draw that conclusion? Don't know. Okay? But I do know when people start talking about Jim Crow laws, ask them, well, gee, you know, that were horrible. Who enacted those? Democrats. You know, I understand Democrats want to forget that, and they want to say, oh, well, the Democratic Party now is the Republican Party then, and vice. Really? Come on. There's a whole lot of gymnastics to go through to get to that argument. Anyhow, folks, Jim Crow laws, black liberation theology, that's kind of my rant for tonight, and I really appreciate you listening. Have a great night.